in an essay called My Cold War, my father was explaining that he, of course, had been a staunch anti-communist. He had found at some point anti-communism to not be intellectually terribly interesting. The case had been made and remade and remade, and made by very great men and women from the 30s or before, I guess, even on through The God That Failed, and then through Solzhenitsyn. And it was a practical task to defeat communism, a major, important one, but not intellectually interesting. And he says that he himself got more interested in the weaknesses of liberalism than in simply fighting communism, important as that was. And he writes that what began to concern me more and more were the clear signs of rot and decadence germinating within American society, a rotten decadence that was no longer the consequence of liberalism, but was the actual agenda of contemporary liberalism. My father is always so mild-mannered in his writing and pulls his punches. And then he says, and therefore liberalism became the question. For me, then, neoconservatism was an experience of moral, intellectual, and spiritual liberation. And I do think, and this is, I think, comes clear from Irwin's, the essays in Irwin's book, that at its best, neoconservatism really isn't a doctrine, and neoconservatives aren't really a movement, but neoconservatism is a way of liberating oneself from the doctrines and cliches and assumptions of the age, both conservative, I would say, incidentally, as well as liberals. And so many of the conservative assumptions are sort of developed in reaction to liberal assumptions, but they're still only assumptions. And neoconservatism really became a way to think through the current moment and its challenges, and to think about alternate paths for the future. And I do think that Irwin's book, I hope Irwin's book, and think Irwin's book, helps us do that.